the game like back in the days, obviously, and then I did kind of a break, and there was something that happened with this game because there's a new category. The community had quite a big discussion about the RNG element, which we've seen the last time, which is called Hillrunner's Head. And Hillrunner's Head is a gear that's only spawning like 2% of the time, and you have to reload a checkpoint, grind for it, and it just killed so many runs. So even for marathons had to have like a backup save. But yeah, we now have a modification which is called, well, fittingly, Hillrunner's Head mod. And we have agreed on allowing this modification for a separate category on the leaderboard. All it basically does is it puts the Hillrunner's Head drop into a set gear location, and that allows us just to get runs consistently going. And yeah, it's kind of nice just to have runs all the time. And I guess we're just gonna jump in. Yeah. So timing starts. Do we have a timer? Is that should be that one, I guess.
I mean, I can press it and see what happens.
Start as soon as Elizabeth starts talking. And guess we're good to go.
That didn't do anything.
Are you afraid of God?
Let's try that one.
Yeah, that one works. Okay. Alright. So yeah, as we've seen in BioShock Infinite 2 years ago, it's, well, the basic premise didn't change a lot. It's still BioShock classic game. We start with the lighthouse. We start with Booker DeWitt in this case, who's... yeah. It starts with Booker DeWitt, who's going to the lighthouse. It's the classic BioShock premise. You go to the lighthouse, you get up there, or in BioShock 1, you get down into the sea, and here we're going up into the sky to Columbia. And yeah, what can I say about how the game has changed since then? Like when the modification, Hillrunner's Head modification was well, allowed, we had quite an influx of new runners that learned the game, that were interested, because before they were kind of put off by the RNG element. Now they are actually, or they have been interested in actually not only learning the game, but also in routing, finding new skips and so on. And there have been quite a few little new things that have effectively pushed the game now to sub 1 hour 40 for the in-game time, or the no loads time. So that's really a pretty big milestone. Before it was like the record was by Distortion 2, it was a 143, I'm not sure, but something like that.
I think 2 years ago when henyK was showing off the game, the record was around 146, I think, or 145. And so it, aside from the new skips, just being more consistently good at the game due to more runs going through, less resets for the HRH, it actually really improved the overall quality of, you know, submissions over time.
Yeah, and it was just nice to see the game being active again after, like, nobody really ran it for, I don't know, a year or something or more. Anyway, here's the first puzzle of the game. We gotta ring the bells. It's a pretty hard puzzle. And now we have to wait a little bit. The beginning of the run is like fairly, well, slow-paced. There are not really any skips here in the first part. It's mostly just movement optimization. We can't really do anything just to speed it up besides that. But yeah, once we pass the first, I'd say like 10 minutes or something, we're gonna pick up on speed, and especially after we get Hillrunner's Head. That gear that now spawns consistently for us, we're just gonna, well, see a lot of skips, skip a lot of game content, and it's gonna be really fun.
Maybe one more word about the gear. Obviously there's other gear in the game. Due to the mod, we're not really required to check for any more gear, because we basically get everything we require to do the speedrun. But henyK could theoretically just pick up other boxes for a chance for some minor improvements on items, but most of the time picking up the box, or the time it takes to pick up the box to get a different item, is slower than what you would benefit from the item inside. But there's a few few items like drop glove, still pretty good to have if you get it, but the chance, the RNG of getting exactly that item is extremely low for just a minimal payoff basically.
Yeah, in theory, like if we were about to do a segmented run or something, we could probably like figure out some other combinations. Even though there is something else that we have not mentioned yet, we also now play with a season pass DLC, which together with the Industrial Revolution pack gives you a couple of items in the blue ribbon. We have not used that until, I'm not sure, like, I don't know, a year ago or something, I would say, like actively really. The thing is, the infusions that we used to pick up during the regular run are now also inside the blue ribbon, and it allows us to just pick them up there without having to go out of our way. It's just pretty convenient. It doesn't save insanely much time, but it's just nice, and so we are just now doing it. Besides that, we're picking up Sugar Rush, which is a gear that every time we eat something or drink something, it basically gives us a speed boost. It's only a little speed boost that saves about, I don't know, 1 to 1.5 seconds. But over the course of the run, that adds up to about a minute, so that's kind of a big deal for now, like with BioShock Infinite becoming more and more optimized. And it also makes like just for cool looking movement, I would say.
Yeah, and the reason why Sugar Rush wasn't as popular before is, I mean, we'll go over it in detail, but basically you kind of want to stay low health in many parts of the run. It's less important now than it used to be, but eating food oftentimes gives you health back, which is not optimal in certain areas, but it has been optimized at this point. Of course, even while most or some food items are still random.
Yeah. The thing is, like, you don't want to go too far out of your way to pick up food, because then obviously the time gain by the speed boost wouldn't really save you any time overall. But if you can just grab an item that's like maybe a couple of meters out of your sight, then that's like still useful, so we're doing that. And also, like, we can later combine Hillrunner's head boosts. Like, Hillrunner's head gives you a boost every time your shield breaks. It's a 2.5 second boost. And it's, like, actually, it's... If you combine it with Sugar Rush boosts, then you get, like, a really big speed boost that's not only both speeds accumulated, but also, well, kind of multiplied. You will see, it goes insanely fast then. And it's really, really nice. Here, well, we're in the welcome center. We just have to wait to, well, get baptized, I guess, or more like drowned. But yeah, it's the beginning is, as we said, a little bit slow-paced. Well, that's fine.
Will you be cleansed, brother?
For sure.
Hey, I baptize you.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure if you mentioned it, but for the Hillrunner head mod, we also have the little icon in the top left corner. So if you wondered what that is, if you've played the game, don't recognize that. That's just for speedrunners to indicate that we do, in fact, have the mod on. Yeah.
In the beginning, when the mod was introduced, it was first just a variable on the leaderboard. Now it's its own category, just for clarification that the mod has been used. So in theory, you can still do runs without the mod. Currently, most people are opting for the mod just to get more consistent runs going. Personally, I kind of want to still pick up the non-mod category at some point, but yeah, it was nice just to have runs without resetting over and over. I have to admit that, obviously.
Yeah. And you hear a lot of other communities hear about this, or people mention on Reddit or wherever. Oh yeah, the HRH mod or the BioShock Infinite mod, removing RNG, and they want to remove RNG in their games, but it's not something that is generally accepted in speedrunning. It's just something that our community has come together and decided upon. So really, it's just a community decision. It's not something that would be applicable to every game. And here comes the first bigger skip in the game. Yeah.
So yeah, you can jump down here around an invisible wall. You wouldn't be able to do that like without jumping around the corner because the game wants you to wait until the bridge has fully lowered. But since we want to go fast, we just jump around there. We have to wait a little bit though, because if we jump too early, then the game will just reset our position to back onto the part before the bridge. So yeah, you can't do it immediately.
Still saves like a good 5 seconds over just waiting for the bridge to lower and like completely come down. So yeah. Yeah.
This part is a bit annoying because we have to wait for this parade to pass by. There's not really a skip yet that we can do here. Theoretically, there's something that has been recently discovered, which we will see in action later as well. We can kind of clip here, but it's not really applicable because of certain reasons. So we still have to wait here. And well, now we can finally progress. But soon there is a deviation in the route coming up. It's only like a minor change, but it saves about 10 seconds. Coming up is the raffle skip. The raffle skip has been there since like almost day one of the speedrun, but now we're doing it in a different way. We just found several ways to just get to the next area, and we're gonna see yeah, in a little bit is fairly new now, and that has been found after the mod was allowed for the leaderboard.
Also because we really want to pay attention to what this card tells us. It tells us not to pick number 77. And because we're good people, good speedrunners, we decide, okay, we listen to them. We're not gonna pick number 77. In fact, we're just gonna not pick anything at all.
So what we can do here, we can jump up here and then jump out of bounds and back in bounds to the area that we would get only after the raffle skip usually. So that's a pretty cool skip. Normally in this area there's supposed to be a big fight going on with firemen and so on, but since we never really triggered the enemies, well, they're not here, which is really convenient. And this takes us to the blue ribbon, which is, well, the location where we get another important item, or, well, not item, but it's the shield, and the shield is basically what allows us to do the Hillrunner's head boosts later. Anyway, first here are the infusions. I gotta pay a little bit attention that I don't pick the wrong one, which sometimes can happen. As you can see, the mouse sometimes is in well, weird positions there. I'm gonna pick up one health infusion, and Fleet Feet is another gear that I have not mentioned yet, which is also a bit helpful when evading enemies. But yeah, here's the shield. Gonna take that, and yeah, now we're going fast. As you can see, I'm eating some food here on my way, and that gives us those little speed boosts. Also allows us to do this skip easier. Normally you have to wait there for well, balloon or something to pass by, but this way we can just jump down and around it. And now here, for example, you see me trying to loot a lot of boxes and things just in hope for some food drops, as we just saw here. Here also we got our first Vigor. Vigors are kind of the, well, the plasmids from BioShock. They have the same function. I just shot there to open this door early. If you shoot with the right timing, the soldiers will instantly open the door. If you shoot like wrong, it will still be faster than going around a different path. But yeah, the timing is pretty strict for that. Now we're approaching the Order of the Raven, which is a cult of yeah, ravens, basically raven people. We before picked up an infusion here on the table. We can skip that now since we already got enough infusions in the blue ribbon. And that is just nice to not go out of our way too much, and yeah.
So yeah, story-wise, this game, I mean, I keep forgetting like the exact elements of the story, and I don't know if we are gonna mention the story much, especially because we do skip a lot of important story elements, more or less, so it does make sense after all. But you can see that it's very, it focuses hard on the history of the United States and yeah, Confederation. So if you see people in, you know, weird custom costumes, you recognize, yeah. It's not a coincidence. So this was the first mini boss fight, but
I tried to set up some fire traps there for the well, for the crow to walk into them. Unfortunately, he didn't. But yeah, it's no big deal. Like you can still lure him into them and then just shoot him. It's a bit slower, but that's fine. And yeah, that takes us to Monument Island Gateway, which is hopefully the location where we're gonna see a pretty cool skip that is now older, and I think it was in the run schon already, talking German here, already like a couple of years ago. But it's a pretty nice skip, so hopefully we can get that first try. Or, well, there's only one try. But yeah, first we are getting here on the skyline, which is, in my opinion, a really cool part of this location, because it's just really fluent, cool looking movement here. I'm gonna kill this enemy here just for safety reasons, because he can sometimes get in your way, and now you need to focus a little bit. See if that works.
oh, yeah.
Unfortunately that didn't work. I was trying to get... Well, whenever you get onto the skyline, the game just pauses briefly, pauses like all entities. And we can use that to actually jump right next to the crate, which if you do it right, it's only a couple of pixels you have there. If you hit them right, then it pushes you forward. The physics kind of go crazy, and it allows us to just skip all this, the whole part here, instead of having to go around on the skyline. But we didn't get it, so, well, no big deal.
Still got like the small optimization of jumping in front of the carriage, which does make it a little bit easier. Oh, yeah.
So here I'm gonna, or I tried to set up 2 fire traps. We'll see in a bit if that worked. Well, that one looks okay. This one is not as important, but this is a recently found manipulation that, if it works, allows us to open the door inside this airship from Comstock like early. Normally you have to kill 2 soldiers in there, which costs a couple of seconds. It's no big deal, but still, as I said, like small things are now being found by new runners and new people who just are interested in finding new skips and glitches, which is really cool. This should work though, I think. Anyway, we have to wait here. Comstock, that's Comstock by the way, in case you don't know him. And yeah, just have to wait until we're able to get out here. If we got the skip that didn't work right now, then we would have been able to get out there earlier, which saves a couple more seconds. Like the nose bleeding animation happens much later then. Okay, let's see, I think this should work. Yeah, you can open the door early without the soldiers actually being dead, because we put the fire trap inside, so the first soldier already got killed when he spawned, and the game doesn't really know what to do then and thinks that the fight is over, but still spawns some more soldiers. But yeah, that just allows us to exit early here. So sometimes the game can softlock here, and the skyline here won't even spawn. It has only happened like 2 or 3 times to me. Luckily it didn't this time, even though it's pretty cool, like apocalyptic setting that kinda appears there then. But yeah, it would not have been great for a marathon run, obviously. More food drops here, and we're coming to Monument Tower now. Monument Tower is kind of a pretty boring part of the run, because there are a lot of cutscenes. We're basically meeting Elizabeth, who is our sidekick for the rest of the run, and we just have to first watch a lot of lore, and yeah, it just takes a while. So, looting some more stuff here. And as you can see, these little boosts really add up, and it's just nice that you can save some time there, like that. So this is the first well, elevator ride here inside, we got still plenty of elevator rides coming for the rest of the run, so get used to them. And yeah, we've got a lot of waiting to do here. Just running to the next room, triggering the cutscene. Also something that was before estimated to save time. If you crouch before a door, it seemed that that would save like half a second or something per door, but it doesn't really, but it's never been timed. But one of the new runners also actually really timed that, and it doesn't save time, so that's something. Sometimes you should really just try to time things, even if you think it's clear and obvious what they do, but yeah. Anyway, here, Elizabeth. We just met her for the first time, saw her. We're gonna free her very soon. Just gotta watch some more cutscenes. And here's actually a pretty cool cutscene if you play through the game for the first time, because it shows her ability to create so-called tears. It's kind of a dimension change or something, like bringing in a different dimension. And she's opening a dimension here to Paris, which is the place she wants to go to or be. Some nice Easter eggs as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of pop culture references. There's a lot of time travel elements in this as well. Or at least it makes it seem like it's time travel. We'll later know a bit more about what exactly is going on with those time rifts that Elizabeth can open.
There are some optional cutscenes that we could watch there, but we don't have to, so obviously we opt to skip them. With a technique that we will see later, it would theoretically be possible to get out of bounds here on the staircase. It would just also lead to a soft lock, so it's just something cool that would be nice to show off, like for a glitch showcase or so, but it's not really useful in a run. And actually this cutscene that we see right now, if we just did this trick, the surroundings wouldn't have been loaded, we would still fall down here, and Elizabeth and Booker would fall into the abyss. So that's something really cool looking, but not useful for the run itself, obviously. But we're almost through Monument Tower now. It's only like one escape sequence left. And you can see an apple on the table to the left. You should never eat that apple. It's basically just something that we used to joke around when Hillrunner's head was still RNG, and like I had the opinion that if you don't eat the apple, then the RNG is obviously gonna give you a Hillrunner's head. A lot of other people were of other opinions. I still opt to not eat it. In this room, if you're not careful, you can actually soft lock yourself in some spots, so you kind of want to avoid just randomly jumping at walls, which speedrunners sometimes do. And yeah, here, for this escape sequence, there are well, not so-called, but there are rumblings, as you can see. And you can manipulate them to a certain extent. We'll see if we can do that. Like, if you jump here before such a rumbling happens, then you will keep some of the momentum, which allows you to get ahead of Elizabeth, as you can see here, and it saves a little bit of time. Well, if you move correctly there, you will only be reached by her at this point. There's also a glitch that can happen here. I think it happens if you touch Elizabeth during a rumbling, then the game will kind of put you in a very slow walking mode. I'm not even sure why that happens, but yeah, it's really annoying. Also, yeah, Liz is apparently a brick.
Why did they put me in here? What am I? What am I?
And she's also a great mime. Now. And this is Songbird, by the way, one of the antagonists, or at least seemingly antagonists. Spoilers. So this staircase is a bit annoying because the game kinda sometimes gets you stuck here. But if you just move a bit careful, it doesn't happen. Also, Elizabeth is the true speedrunner, as she clearly somehow managed to get ahead of us again. And here's something that also was found after, I think, after the run was shown at the ESA in 2016. If you reload the checkpoint here, then you can actually fully run up here, get ahead of Liz, and save, I think, like 2 or 3 seconds. It's no big deal if you don't do it, but it's still something nice that has been found since then. I think it was by Prototype Alpha, like a really active BioShock Infinite speedrunner and glitch hunter as well.
Yeah, Proto, who has found numerous optimizations and glitches in this game.
He's been around for forever now, basically, as well. So yeah, shoutouts to him. Anyway, this part here, we're on a skyline. We can't really do anything besides turning our camera, so it's only seemingly interactive. It's all scripted. But what will happen? We're gonna drop into the sea very soon. And then very soon, like, the real part of the run, in my opinion, begins, because we will get Hillrunner's head, we will have the ability to perform more skips, and we'll really skip huge chunks of the game's content. That's where the speedrun really becomes cool to watch.
Also less cutscenes from this point on. Which is
Still
always
some,
nice.
but it's
Some,
not too
yeah,
bad.
but not these really long ones as this one.
This also puts us for the second time into our office room, which, if you have played the DLCs, you will know that this is your office, or your former office. Booker DeWitt is a detective. And yeah, we're getting to Battleship Bay now. Which, also don't worry about why the animation is glitched out here. That's because of modifying some of the graphical settings in the config. We're doing that to get more FPS, which is necessary for a skip later in the run, which has also been found, I think, a year ago or something, but it wasn't shown the last time. So hopefully we can get that, and yeah, to get that to get such high FPS, we have to disable some graphical effects. It makes for some funny animations.
Yeah, this level, or just like the first part of this level until HRH, has been more or less straightforward. There's one small element that we used to skip, and now it's become a lot more complicated. We always, or like for the longest time, we knew there was like some opportunity to skip this, but it took over a year or two for, I don't know who found it first, probably Charcoal maybe? I don't know who actually found like
Might have been Jacro, yeah.
the actual setup for this, but you'll see here in a second if Henny has some luck with this.
Well, there's in the area that we just passed, there's a theoretically possible skip that I opted to not go for because it's like still insanely inconsistent. But there's another skip that's coming up, which is kind of a change of an older skip, which is neither skip, and that allows us to skip some lockpicking animation, and yeah, hopefully that goes well, because if it doesn't go well, it loses quite some time. I think we even have to reload here, so I'm gonna try it now once. I'm confident. Anyway, here we saw just that Elizabeth obviously wants to go to Paris. And some more bottles for speed boost. So this part is first seems unchanged. We still need to skip the choice here of either bird or cage. Can do that from here. So you gotta jump on here with pretty precise inputs. We can climb the wall here. And now we're going this way.
Yeah. So maybe if you saw the glitch last time, we would just continue on the path, but now we're, yeah.
that was kind of close, but we made it. That's peak skip. We basically jump around the corner there. We have to pay attention to not fall down because then it would be a soft lock. But yeah, we can just get back inbounds from here, and that skips the lockpicking animation. I'm still running backwards here and restarting the checkpoint because otherwise Elizabeth wouldn't be with us. But we definitely want her to be with us because otherwise we could not trigger a cutscene earlier. And here's where we get Hillrunner's head. Oh my god, we got Hillrunner's head. I'm so surprised.
Wow, 2% chance.
But yeah, this is like, this used to be kind of like Christmas if you got Hillrunner's head here first try, but now obviously it's guaranteed.
Yeah. And if you remember, there were 2 boxes in this area, so you would reset, open both boxes, and then gives you a little bit of a higher chance, but it's still really tedious.
So there I tried, while we had to wait for the dialogue to finish anyway, I tried a little super jump, so-called. It's a really inconsistent technique in most spots that allows you to, like, if you are stuck somewhere, crouched with your head against a ceiling, and then if you jump repeatedly, preferably with your mouse wheel, like with jump bound to the mouse wheel, then you can sometimes get a height boost. It's kind of random. The physics are a bit weird in that sort, but it allows you to do some skips, but it's just not consistent, unfortunately. And yeah, here was the first real fight. We just killed some enemies, just gotta loot some stuff here. Theoretically, you could also go over here and jump around this corner. It's just a really, really precise trick. Nobody has really done it in a run yet, and even I think Jarko, who's like somewhat consistent with such tricks, he's still like, I don't know, he still is opting to not do it in runs, so that means a lot. Anyway, we just saw our first Hillrunner's head boost. Every time our shield breaks, as we already said, we get a speed boost. It's the gear's ability, or the perk that we get from that gear. And we obviously do that not only to save well, time in general, if we can set it up like that, but also we can do some skips that are not possible without it, because we have more speed, which gives us more momentum. And yeah, we will see that in a bit.
You think people like that are just gonna let you walk away?
Yeah, also neither skip causes Elizabeth to have these medallions on her hand.
Yeah.
It will go away, thankfully, but kind of funny.
If you don't draw first, you don't get.
Do we have time for a quick donation?
Of course, sure.
We have $10 from Anonymous saying, I wasn't able to watch ESA at all, but I just wanted to say hi and good luck to henyK and all the runners here.
Thank you.
Speedrunning is amazing and you guys deserve my deep respect as I suck at everything I touch. I'm sure you're good at something and really generous at least, so thank you very much for the donation.
Yes. Thanks a lot.
He's really good at writing donation messages.
Alright, that's Battleship Bay. So we finally passed the point where well, we had a lot of cutscenes, and yeah, now what I'm doing here is I'm running towards the gate, then running towards this door. You don't really need to interact with that lockpick, but if you just run there, then Elizabeth will have like a line of dialogue about the lockpick, and that overrides the gate's dialogue and allows you to open this gate 4 seconds earlier. It was found by, I think, iStoic. It's been quite a while. I think it might have been in the last showcase of this run. But yeah, it's still pretty nice. Anyway, here again some possible loot positions that I'm checking.
Just stay close.
Yes, Mr. DeWitt.
Call me Booker.
And coming up is Soldier's Field Skip. I'm somewhat curious to see whether this will go well this time, because last time we had some issues with FPS. This is looking better, I think. Yeah.
It's more promising.
Last time this took me, I would say probably like a minute or something to get up here, because the more FPS you have, the easier it is up until a certain amount of FPS, and then it gets harder again. It's quite weird. But yeah, that worked out. And we're using this to get up here and set up another skip. and that is falling down here, then jumping, and hopefully that worked. Yeah, that worked. Nice, first try. And yeah, what this does is it skips an elevator ride with some more dialogue cutscenes and everything, which obviously we don't really want to watch. So yeah, this fight here is pretty well coordinated. I'm placing a fire trap there and luring the enemies in certain ways, trying to kill them with single shots. And now there's a crow who's supposed to spawn here. Oh, I think I might have missed the soldier. But yeah, I'm placing a fire trap and I can kill the crow instantly. And with the fire trap I placed at the start, I should be able to pull this lever now instantly. It's like, as I said, pretty well planned, this fight. Not always it goes perfectly right, but yeah, if it does, it's pretty cool. So now we're picking up some health here, because in the upcoming section we have some so-called death warps, and death warps require precise amounts of health if you want to set them up. The thing is with this game that health is not very accurate, at least the display of the health. Also, this game has invulnerability frames that are not really easy to always fully well, see whether you still have them or not. Yeah, so you need to be a bit careful there. So might need to get some food now, because I'm pretty low on health. But we're probably gonna find some food in here.
Oh, of course not.
Maybe here. Yeah, that's looking good. I'm gonna do this.
Should
Well,
be good.
it could be good. I'm gonna be a bit careful. So here's a fairly new death warp. Okay, there I jumped too late. What you want to do here is you want to jump and kill yourself right after, because that. Actually, I'm gonna reload here the checkpoint because my health is too high to be able to kill myself with the amount of rockets that I have.
Yeah,
So
also ammunition should usually not be much of an issue, but sometimes if you have to reset a trick, you might run out of rockets and you have to go get more rockets, and that wastes even more time. So there we go.
This looks good. This is actually really precise, so it's not guaranteed that we got it yet. It looked good to me though. It's fairly precise. Should be able to go through this door now. Yes. For safety reasons, I'm gonna buy some more rockets, because there's another death warp coming up here, and sometimes the health doesn't get your health down fully as it should. It's pretty weird.
Yeah, so the reason why that works is because if you're in the dying animation and you're still moving forward, you are actually still loaded into the map, so you can hit the load trigger on the other side of the wall, and it's gonna be used quite a bit.
Yeah, and that worked out as well. You can either overshoot, undershoot, or get it right. This time we got it right, which is nice. And yeah, here we're using some more boosts that we bring ourselves into the position that we can shoot ourselves, so we do the boosts in the spots where we want them to happen. It's like fairly strict how you set these things up. Here's something new. Go here. And then kill yourself, which did not work. I'm gonna reload here, because that's safer. Otherwise it's kinda luck. Should have worked. I jumped a bit too early. It's okay though. Just gotta do it again. Hall of Heroes is pretty tricky now with if you wanna do everything. This was a bit in my way there, I think. She blocked my path.
As much as we appreciate Liz's help, she's more often than not a burden than actual help. Especially because if you need ammunition, like Liz has certain items that she can provide you. She will give you ammunition, health, or salts. Anything else? Oh yeah, money in certain areas. But yeah, more often than not, she just refuses to help whenever we need it, and instead just stands in the way.
Also, you've seen me now twice running to that corner there, instead of just going directly here to where Slate is gonna be, our next target. What that does is it spawns the soldiers, prevents the soft lock later when exiting the Hall of Heroes, because obviously we're not doing things in the order that we're used to, or that we're supposed to.
Actually, never seen
That
anyone.
worked,
Oh, nice.
yes. What I'm doing here is I'm resetting, or I'm setting a respawn point behind this gate. I need to walk backwards now, otherwise the door would close. But yeah, this is a bit faster than what we used to do, just respawning in another area. And yeah,
That's
it's pretty new as
I've
well.
never seen that. So yeah, you would respawn like further down the hall, and all of this would take much longer.
Also, this allows us to do some more boosts because we have more health after respawning here. So anyway, this is Slate. We had to run in that corridor that we've just seen, otherwise he wouldn't have spawned here. So you just saw me walking around or just walking beneath a crate. It's just you gotta know where the triggers are, obviously. And here's the item that we're after. It's Shock Jockey. Without Shock Jockey, we can't progress in Soldier's Field. If there was a way to get Shock Jockey in Soldier's Field or earlier, then we would not need to even go here. So that's something maybe to be found at some point, who knows.
To say about the Vigors is that they have like a story point where you can pick them up, but you can also find them later on if you don't choose to pick them up, like the Raven's nest, for example. Whenever we kill the Raven after he reappears, he will also drop a Vigor if we don't pick it up immediately after the story tells us to do so. And there's other Vigors where you can do the same thing.
Alright, and that's the Hall of Heroes done. Now we have to return to Soldier's Field, or Hall of Heroes Plaza, however you want to call it. This part is usually a bit tricky, but we have more health than normal, so it should be fine. Gonna pick up some extra health for safety reasons, though. Now this is different. We used to grab Bucking Bronco inside the Hall of Heroes, which we don't do anymore, which is why this dude is a bit more scary. I need to actually pay attention now to not die. Shock him some more. This is all on a timer. We need to wait until we can jump down here. It takes, I don't know, like a couple of seconds. But yeah, with Bucking Bronco it's easier because the enemy can not attack you at all that way. Also, now I'm gonna do Speed Boost here, which is Sugar Rush combined with Hillrunner's Head, as I mentioned earlier. It's really nice if you can get those boosts, and they take quite some more time. Elevator doors like that, where you push a button to open them, are a bit strange, because sometimes they open quick, sometimes they open really late. I think it has to do with how you approach them, or if you, after pushing the button, go backwards. But it's still not really sure why, or I'm still not really sure why sometimes this happens. So yeah, here we have to set up a fight, or well, not set up a fight, but wait for a fight to begin. It's all on a timer, so we can just loot some stuff here. Hope for some nice drops, even though it doesn't really matter too much what's in here, but... Well.
Oh, sweet child. That's where
There are some barges with enemies coming at us. Gonna try to maybe snipe one, or at least do some damage to him. You can see that from the health meter there if it happens. So worked this time, that's nice.
So with these fights, like they've always been like a very underappreciated time loss if you don't do them right, and people have always tried to optimize them further and further, but I think Distro was like the one person that really grinded out the optimal pattern, or like rhythm that you do these different enemy spawns, or like take care of the enemies. So because the enemies will jump around in like a more or less predictable pattern, yeah, you can sort of line them up, and makes these fights a lot easier or faster than if you just run around to find them.
Yeah, I didn't manage to kill that one soldier there in time, so he jumped down from the barge. But yeah, well, once you kill him, everything still progresses. everything now is again on a timer, because there's a gondola that has to go all the way down from the station, I'd say, to here, and we have to wait for it. But by standing here, we can at least minimize the risk of soldiers being around. They would just come our way, so we can just nicely pick them up. It's, 2 sets of 5 soldiers, I think, or 4. But yeah, this is. It doesn't matter how quick they appear or not, as long as they are not insanely late. Usually they are not. So.
And this shows the manipulation aspect of like standing in a certain position, not just with Elizabeth, but also with like these enemies. You can really manipulate as to where they go and like what animations they do, more or less.
So now we're going on here. There's gonna be a Patriot spawning there, which we want to take out somewhat quickly, because then we can jump onto this this gondola earlier. That should still be okay. My health might now be a bit too high, we'll see. So what we can do here, we can jump down, trigger this early and turn our back towards the lock, so Elizabeth will spawn behind us and just pick this lock early. Yeah, we only have 4 shots, but I think it should be fine. As I said, the game's sometimes a bit weird in terms of health, so I can't guarantee it. Also, since we jumped down here early now, Liz will not talk. It's just her dialogue being bugged.
Oh yeah,
Good. I will still play it safe. Like, I don't think actually the next shot will kill me, because for whatever reason in this spot it doesn't always kill you, no matter where you stand here. But there's a death warp you can, or yeah, actually it's not really a death warp. It's just the game putting you to a different respawn point, not us jumping through a wall like before. But we can kill ourselves here and then respawn on the pier if everything works. But yeah, as I said, well, I just played it safe here. The game did not kill us immediately, but now it should. And now we should respawn here. Saves quite a bit of time. Obviously it's not that easy with such high speed to actually move correctly around the enemies. So it's always nice if you have like a straight path.
You the false shepherd.
And you, the lamb.
Let's not call each other that.
Suits me.
How do you figure
But we're approaching one of the
They've got a
longest
prophet on their
cutscenes
side. Or them that hired
before we
the
get
house
to
over the
Finkton
side.
Docks.
You alright?
I want to see Paris. I want to see everything.
It's up to you now. There's no one.
Wait, what is that? 40
And this
north,
is where the
47
story
south.
also, if you casually play through the game, really picks up in speed. Because Elizabeth notices, oh wait, we're not wanting to bring her where she wants to go, but instead we're here for our own
Wipe away my debt in
for our
exchange
own
for-
reasons,
Come on.
because we want to wipe away our debt.
Everything's gonna be okay. Will you just turn around and talk to
But
me?
well,
We
she's
can
kind of
talk.
angry now at us. It's no good sign.
Maybe if we do have a donation or something, we have about 20 seconds here of just sitting around waiting.
I actually want to quickly take this opportunity to shout out one of our partners, Elgato. They have been supporting ESA for the past three events, and this year they actually have 4 streaming pods set up for those daily streamers who don't want to miss the stream. So we really appreciate Elgato for supporting ESA and also bring their community closer to the streamers community closer to ESA. While providing these streaming pods, of course, and also have provided us with a few stream decks and a few prizes to give away during the event. So, huge thanks to Elgato for supporting us.
So here, in this cutscene, you can kind of see the slavery aspect of the story, or of what's going on here in Colombia. well, it seemed nice at first when we came into Colombia, like saw the fancy balloon city there and everything, and now we see not everything is as nice as it seemed. There's racism going on and a lot of other bad things happening. So yeah, it's a really interesting story.
I ain't looking for a fight.
Yeah, and since we really skip a lot of the Vox Populi storyline, this is Stacy. She's sort of like a rebellious leader in the city, but yeah, we'll sooner or later learn that not everything is alright with the motivation behind her her group in here. But yeah, if you play the game casually, you'll probably spend a lot of time dealing with the Vox Populi in this part. Yeah,
We're not gonna do that.
we won't. Yeah.
Spoilers. Anyway, now we get thrown out of, well, actually our own airship, which is really nice. So we have to find our way back. Plus, we also have to find where Elizabeth has gone. There's some minor movement optimizations. You can jump around the corners. And also something that I'm actually not sure whether the developers intended it or not, but you can jump on these pipes. Probably just an oversight. But yeah, some more rocket boosts here. Also, you can get a boost here from that. Now I'm jumping up here and setting up another skip. Oops. That's totally fine. And
Nice.
yeah, you can jump around this well, this corner, and what that does is it skips a cutscene with Elizabeth running away from you, and you can see she's not around here now, obviously because we never triggered it. But the game still does the things like that she would do, spawn the balloons, everything here.
Knock over the pants there.
Yeah,
Hold up for a
pretty
minute.
funny.
I'm not angry with you. Hey, watch out! Move it!
And here there would be a way out of bounds that theoretically might be faster. The problem is just that the game will softlock if you do it, because Elizabeth will not be with you. So we can't do that, unfortunately.
So we do know a lot of skips or stuff like that where we just simply don't have a use for yet. So if you're interested in routing, there's definitely a lot of potential. But this is an important part right here. Coming up, there's gonna be an enemy that has a certain weapon. Is that still relevant?
Yes, yes, it is.
I haven't been running
Very
this game
strong
in
weapon.
like 2 years, so.
So we're trying to kill a lot of enemies here quickly and then jump onto the barge. Now we have to pay attention to kill this enemy in such a way that his weapon will not fall off. Hopefully it did not. That looks good.
Yep.
And we want to switch our shotgun, which has been nice so far against the volley gun here, which does a lot more damage, splash damage and so on, so it's really useful. And we don't really need the shotgun for anything else than dealing them, or we haven't needed it for anything else anyway. But we keep the rocket launcher because it's a useful tool to damage ourselves to get more boosts. But yeah, the combination of these two weapons is pretty much ideal for the rest of the run. And there, by the way, we saw the first handyman. Handymans are kind of the equivalent to the big daddies in BioShock. They are really strong enemies, and you really have to throw a lot of things at them to actually defeat them if you fight them. We're gonna fight such a handyman very soon as well, in Finkton proper, I think, or sometime later, I don't know. But yeah.
Elizabeth, I've made an arrangement to get our airship back.
You can get us out of here.
Yes, I just need to supply enough weapons to arm an entire uprising.
And where will we get these weapons? From one of our many friends and allies?
A gunsmith in Finkton should be a walk in the park. What do you say, partners?
You're a liar, Mr.
Now,
DeWitt.
suddenly we're gonna be
And a
partners
thug.
again, like
You're also the
Elizabeth
only
doesn't
one
really
who's
know what she
supposed
wants.
to.
Yeah, here's something weird that happens. The camera kind of freezes for like 2 or 3 seconds. We're not sure what causes that, and we haven't found a consistent way to manipulate it. But yeah, we're gonna upgrade our weapon, our volley gun here. There's a couple of different upgrades you could do here. It's not really sure what's the fastest thing to do or the best thing to do long term, but we're just gonna upgrade the volley gun for this run.
Yeah, so the volley gun upgrade is nice because it will damage yourself faster as well as kill enemies faster, so you break your shield more often or more easily.
Yeah, you also saw me buy some salts. I'm gonna use those salts to place 2 fire traps there, which are gonna take care of enemies that will spawn in a bit. We have to defeat these. There's still someone.
So this is another fight that has gone through many different iterations where we place those fire traps in different locations, basically just kill the enemies as they spawn. And then people have been looking more and more into it as to which are the most optimized positions to do that.
So here we have to wait before, well, we're setting up a death wall, but or a dialogue skip first, but we have to wait until Elizabeth has started talking, otherwise, well, it wouldn't work, because that's the point where the elevator is actually triggered. And now we spawn up here. You might not think it would save time, but it does, since the elevator will actually be open, and that allows us to do something interesting, as you will see in a bit. Just gonna fall down here and kill ourselves again. And with a speed boost we get from that, we can jump around the corner here and skip a huge chunk of the game. There's so much going on down there, but we're not gonna see anything of that. We're just jumping here out of bounds and casually getting to the next area and killing ourselves. That was not intended. It's no big deal though, we respawn here immediately.
Yeah, so the whole part about finding weapons from Fink's factory and then arming the uprising and all that part is skipped at this point. And yeah, you'll see in a moment here that Daisy, who we've met, who wanted to hire us to get, or more or less hire us, I mean she forced us to get her the weapons and like help her uprising, and now she's not too happy about us for skipping all of that, I think.
If we're lucky, we're gonna get some really cool boosts here as well. It's just crazy how much speed you get from those two boost methods combined. It's RNG, obviously, because of the food drops. You don't get them everywhere all the time.
Another elevator right here.
Well, slightly mispositioned. No, actually. Yeah, the game has its issues with collision, with NPCs and everything, so that's BioShock Infinite. But yeah, we're in an elevator again. Huh. Who would have thought? The interesting thing about the skip that we saw just a bit ago is, though, that there would have been an elevator ride down into, how's it called? Finkton?
Finkton's proper? I don't know.
I'm always confusing the location names in this game, but yeah.
It's yeah, the factory part.
Factory part with the workers and everything. It's actually a really cool location from the casual playthrough. But normally there would have been an elevator ride down, but we skipped that just by suiciding out of the elevator and then jumping around the corner. There used to be like several different methods of actually getting that skip that we just saw from down there. Something we used to call Tony Hawk's Pro Skater skip. It was kind of a half pipe. You could get some speed with a Hillrunner's head boost jumping off a skyhook. We don't have to do that anymore, luckily, because despite it being cool, it was actually like pretty hard. And the new method is much more convenient and obviously faster.
It was also the only skip that you could do equally well with the drop cloth item, which is an item that would also have a similar effect to the Hillrunner set, where when you jump off a hook, you get the same speed boost. But obviously you can't do a lot of the Hillrunner head skips with that item, so it's not as important or efficient.
Here we're just gonna clear all the enemies with one rocket shot. Sometimes the enemies spawn in the corner of the room, which is really, well, they will not get moved from the spawning location because the game spawns them there. Didn't get that this time, it takes a little bit of time. Also, we need to pay attention here to not go too fast, and to not grab well, the vigor there, because that would give us a tutorial prompt. Plus, if you go too fast there, it also sometimes soft locks you, or semi-soft locks you. Anyway, here we're gonna place some fire traps as setups for soldiers who jump down in a bit. And there are some more soldiers on this barge, so we can jump early. Come on, I think I just gotta do that. Oh god, health is not looking great. Let's find some health maybe. Might need to be a bit careful now. Only, well, the fireman has a health kit, which we didn't get this time.
Need this?
Thank you, Liz,
Yeah.
for once she's useful. That's rare. Well.
Really unexpected.
Also, where's some salts? There's some salts. Ideally, you want to set up fire traps here before the handyman here appears, because the salts actually, or the fire traps, do a lot of damage. Also, okay, now that we have salts again, we can use... wait, did we actually pick that up? I'd have forgotten that. It's, well, it's no big deal, it's just makes this fight more annoying. There is a vigor that I forgot to pick up. It's like the how's it called? Crows something. But yeah, basically it allows you to
Oh, the
send
crow's nest? Yeah.
crow's nest. It makes this fight easier. Because you can stun the handyman. But it's still fine, that's good.
I'm actually not sure if
for
it's
the
called
rest.
crow's nest, but that's literally it. Similar to the fire trap, you place a crow's nest on the ground. He could have picked it up in the second iteration of the crow fight. So with those vigors, when you pick them up the first time, when the game wants you to pick them up, story-wise, it gives you a tutorial. And if you pick it up after an enemy drops it, or sometimes if you buy it, not always.
It's not really fully consistent. It's
yeah,
a
it
bit
will
weird.
not give you the tutorial of it, which also is more convenient because the game doesn't lock you into this tutorial screen.
So somewhere where the handyman died would be another gearbox that you could loot. We're not doing that because there's a chance that it would replace Hillrunner's head. So it's not really useful. Anyway, well, Daisy Fitzroy just died. And yeah, now we have to comfort Elizabeth.
Hey, easy.
We used to pick up an infusion in the side room here, but since we already got a lot of infusions in Blue Ribbon, we don't need to do that anymore. And it's like a lot of spots where you can just save a little bit of time by not having to go out of our way. The never-ending story of Booker and Liz having fights and then being partners again. Just BioShock Infinite things.
Yep.
Elizabeth,
Took her about 15 seconds to get changed and cut her hair.
Yeah, very
This is
efficient.
all I had.
listen.
How do you do it?
How do I do what?
Forget.
Also, this health kit here is only spawning if your health is below full. Otherwise, it will just not be here. It's
Just
just
learned
something I noticed at some point.
So the moment of truth.
I think
between
it doesn't
us.
apply for other health kits,
York?
so that's kind
Okay.
of weird. And yeah, we're hearing a song that we already know.
Come on, we gotta find a way to make this thing go
We
fast.
meet our friend, not friend for now, our songbird again.
There's gotta be some sort of throttle or accelerator.
Do you know what that looks like?
I don't know.
Help me find it!
Seems also familiar, falling down somewhere, drowning. It's always the same.
Theoretically lethal fall damage.
So yeah, in this area, there's a skip that I could go for, but I'm not going to since it's really hard and does not save time, at least so far.
Booker, we've gotta stop
I'm not sure if I've mentioned it or if it was known the last time this game was shown at ESA, but you can go out of bounds here in the start part. It's just like really finicky and requires you to jump with some really precise inputs from there to this part and then over there, and you have to go around all the way. The problem is then you still need to kill yourself, because otherwise Elizabeth wouldn't spawn behind this piano, and yeah. It's a cool skip, but it's not useful so far, unfortunately.
And needed where we are. So Comstock uses these songs. Are there others we can use? Something to keep the bird off our back?
Perhaps you should ask the maestro himself.
So where is he? Of course.
The Lutece twins are probably my favorite characters from BioShock Infinite. They're just like really weird, but also mysterious and cool. I don't know. They're
And
something.
I highly recommend playing, if you enjoyed this game and haven't checked out the DLCs to the game. The DLCs will go a little bit further, or at least one of the DLCs goes further into, or a little bit further into the backstory about the twins as well.
What is it about that
Who
song?
are, I mean, spoilers, a little bit twisted characters.
So yeah, there you saw me perform a dialogue skip again. Normally you would have to wait for Elizabeth to finish lockpicking, talking and everything. But just running back to the stairs for whatever reason opens the door immediately. So that's pretty convenient. While we are waiting for a barge or the gondola again to arrive, we can loot some stuff in hope for some ammo drops, most importantly. It looks... should be fine, I think. Unless I get like a ton more health, which apparently I'm getting right now. Oh, whatever. It's gonna be fine. We can buy some ammo. Here's another Patriot that we want to take out.
Nice.
Got some ammo. That's at least some good luck today.
I don't know what's going on. I complained about Elizabeth earlier, but today she's been incredibly helpful.
Let's not jinx it though. She has still plenty of opportunities to screw us over later.
Yeah. Probably the best cutscene, or in-game cutscene here, in my opinion.
Well, at least she invented the technology that allows the city to float.
Giant balloons.
Quantum particles, suspended in space-time at a fixed height.
So, not giant balloons?
But the thing is, my book said they disappeared several years ago.
I told you they'd come.
No, you didn't.
Right. I was going to tell you they'd come.
So yeah, some cutscenes are still left.
Are you sure that's
But it's nothing like as we saw at the start of the run.
I was going to have told you they'd come.
Just a little break.
That's not subjunctive.
I don't think the syntax has been invented yet.
It would have had to have been.
Had to have.
Gonna see some more skips that are new or that have not been shown before, so can look forward to that.
Finish each other's
First of all, we gotta though damage ourselves again to set up another death warp, which skips the big fight coming up very soon. I think we should have enough ammo to not need to buy anything, except for some upgrades, or well, upgrades plus vigors.
Come on. Comstock
And yeah, that's also a bit where RNG comes into play, because the basic health and ammo route of this game is set, but you still need to improvise a little bit depending on what kind of drops you get. So here we're gonna buy Charge, Undertow and Devil's Kiss Boost. The last one to just upgrade our damage. And Undertow is also used for a new skip that we're gonna see in late game. Now here we have to well, just get through this area. We can damage ourselves, speed that up, but also take some damage because we, as I said, need to do a death warp. Here it's a bit tricky, like you don't really want to die here or anything, so hopefully that won't happen. Should be fine, hopefully. So we can suicide again through this gate. And now we have to pay attention. We can't stay in front of the gate for too long. We just have to request the lockpick and then hide somewhere. Because otherwise the soldiers will not make Elizabeth lockpick, actually. Which would be kind of tragic. And, I think it's a soft lock you can get out of, but it's like a big time loss.
We won't be able to return.
So yeah, this allows us to, or allowed us to just skip the whole fight there.
Simple dual dialogue.
Maybe we can get lucky, and we haven't mentioned that. There is something called dialogue skips that are random. If you
Put a person in a
well,
cage.
actually, it doesn't. It happens no matter what you do, but it seems to happen more often if you just spam the use input, which I just tried to do by free scrolling with the mouse wheel. I've had it here once that the game skipped basically the whole cutscene. There was no dialogue. It happened only in practice, unfortunately, and we don't know what causes these dialogue skips. We've like really messed around with everything. If it happens, on the one hand, it's nice, obviously, because you save a lot of time. On the other hand, it's annoying, because if you can't replicate it, it's kind of unfair as well, so we don't really know what would happen if someone got a world record with such a dialogue skip here. Dialogue skips in general can, or these kind of dialogue skips can happen pretty much everywhere in the game where there's dialogue. Usually it's only a couple of seconds that are skipped though, but here it would be like 40-45 seconds, so that would be pretty crazy. Hopefully we can find a way to make that consistent in the future.
Promise me.
I will stop him.
That is an oath you cannot keep. But promise me that if it comes to it, you will not let him take me back.
It won't come to that. All right.
So yeah, Elizabeth went through quite a change in the last 30 minutes. And
Yeah.
Emporia.
Emporia. There's downtown Emporia, then actual Emporia.
This is another elevator that you theoretically can escape, but the skylines just don't activate if you escape here early, and you're soft lock again. It's a common theme.
But we're gonna just skip this fight, because fights are slow, obviously, and well, jump around the corner here, drop down, use iron sights, and get it, not first try, but probably second
Yeah,
try,
this
because
is
it's not
still
really
worth it, yeah.
not really an hard skip.
And this has been around for a long time. This was
Yeah, we've seen it last time as well. So.
yeah. So this is one of the first skips for this area that was found.
So here, the boosts are really nice if you can get consecutive double boosts. They save so much time. Unfortunately, we're not getting that lucky here. But yeah, it's really cool looking if you can get it. So I'm gonna do a change from what we saw the last time, which is Comstock gate skip. We used to just set up some respawn points there and everything. Not gonna do that now, not for the sake of actually going fast, but just to show you some speed tech that might become relevant in the future. There's something you can do with certain walls. Like here's a wall. If I just position myself in the right spot, this might take a bit. And if you press against the wall, then press to a side, it does not work everywhere. You can actually glide and clip inside the wall. It's very strange, and it has only been found this year. But this allows you to get out of bounds in some spots. It's just not really. It's not really fast right now. It is FPS dependent though. So if we would have like I think currently we have 360 FPS or something, or 260. But if we had like 600 FPS, this would go insanely fast, and then it would be faster than the old skip. But yeah, that's also a different variation of how to skip the whole part here.
And Comstock Gate Skip has been a legendary skip for our community, as in there's so many different iterations on how it works. Here's another boost that we can only do with the Hillrunner's hat.
I'm not sure if that was around the last time. I don't think so, or was it?
It was like shortly found before, yeah.
Yeah, we might have shown it, yeah. But yeah, it's a songbird skip here, bridge skip, however it's called. But it saves quite a lot of time. It's like 1.5 minutes or something, and it's
a whole cutscene, yeah. And it used to be more inconsistent. Now your setup looked really consistent. I haven't actually.
It's a newer setup. I used to have like big troubles with it, so yeah, I'm really happy that Jarko was. Or I'm not sure if it was Palace or Jarko, but yeah, one of those two figured that setup out, and it's much nicer. So yeah, what I'm doing here is or what I did there, I killed myself just to get more health. Because we can do some more boosts later. And here you saw me just charge up to that turret, which for whatever reason works, even though it's like that far away. But it's really convenient. Skips like 2 floors. Some small things here that you can do. Just jumping over a crate, it's pretty precise. And yeah, basically we're just boosting through the whole of Comstock House here. Just gotta pay attention to keep a little bit of health, not well, almost kill ourselves.
Should be able to head downstairs and get to Elizabeth now.
Little jump scare.
It's
I
not
think
even
the
that much of a jump scare here.
I think it's like the only one actually in the game, or the only situation where you can get actually a bit, I don't want to say scared, but yeah. So here's also something that we do. We try to kill ourselves here in this elevator.
Oh yeah.
Health system. of
Very
this game.
convenient.
Should still save time though, I think, barely. Because what you want to do here is you want to get down here before the elevator arrived, because then you can just walk to this spot, because as soon as the elevator arrives, the Lutece twins will spawn here, and this just saves probably like 4 or 5 seconds if you can kill yourself before the elevator is fully down.
And I'm really happy it's still in the round. Thank you for that. It's literally the only thing I have contributed to this, and I think other people have speculated about it. There was another setup where you would despawn the lattice twins, Luten's twins, because it appeared faster if you could just walk through, but in theory we have the benefit of having our health back, which is really nice for the next section coming up after this, to have like more or less full health.
So you now see me looking backwards a little bit, because I was looking whether Elizabeth, like the young Elizabeth, who is with us because we skipped the cutscene where she actually was taken away by Songbird again. She is supposed to be with us here, so we have like 2 Elizabeths here. If that does not happen, like apparently it just did not, then there's a chance that the game will soft or semi-soft lock again in a bit. It's no big deal, it will only cost us like 50 seconds or something, but still pretty annoying. So maybe we get still lucky. Sometimes it doesn't soft lock, so it's just the game is like, I don't want to say majorly confused.
Oh yeah, that's also the reason why you saw Henny get a prompt of receiving ammo from Elizabeth, even though she's not supposed to be there in Comstock's house.
The game just never despawns her if, well, that cutscene doesn't happen. And the trigger for that cutscene that we skipped there on the bridge is actually like really weird, has a really weird shape, and you need to jump the way that we jumped there to actually reach it. It's like, it's really, yeah, pretty hard to learn that trick at first.
What is this?
Solid animations here again with the game.
She'll know how to read it.
What does it say?
So there's a chance that she will still be around. We'll see in a bit. If we are not soft locking, then Elizabeth will clip through the door here if we when we open it. So it's pray to RNGesus. Nope. Okay, we will most likely soft lock now.
We'll give it a shot.
But yeah, some cool movement here. You can charge towards some enemies or turrets. Saves a bit of time. Get some more boosts. And now we need to activate 2 levers here. There's also a chance that one of these levers will not be activated, or that you cannot activate one of those levers if Liz, who's still around with you here, wants to throw you something. But you can still then, well, actually trigger it by just jumping and then using the use interact key. Because that way, well, yeah, Liz can't throw you something while you're in the air. Alright, so now that we pulled both levers, we are not able to take any damage anymore, which is really nice because our health is pretty low. And what is going on? Hello, can I? Please? Anyway, you see the rambling, or not ramblings, the rumblings here that we saw earlier in Monument Tower. You can basically hear save time as well. If you jump with the right timing, you just don't want to jump for the last rumbling, because then there is a chance that the game will push you through the floor. I have no idea why that happens, but yeah, you just want to be a bit careful then.
Help me with this.
I think someone meant for you to have this.
What is it?
Just read it.
Also, I think if Elizabeth didn't, or if we would not be getting the soft lock, you can, if you pay attention, see Elizabeth, the second Elizabeth, actually standing in the background here of the cutscene. It's really
We're not
it's a
leaving.
very weird
Going
situation.
to find Comstock.
Why?
You saw what he turns me into. I will not allow that.
And so what? You're going to kill him?
This is where you start moralizing, Booker.
You have time for a quick donation?
Yeah, sure.
All right, we have $20 from Slide 7. BioShock Love, keep the good vibes going.
It's a pretty long cutscene here as well. I'm still boosting here, even though I think we, as I said before, are gonna get the soft lock. We'll see once we get here. Yeah, as you can see, we can't request this, so no, we just have to we have to endure this these 50 seconds. Not really anything we can do.
So yeah, if you want to read something else, or it's all yours to the door.
We also have no idea why Elizabeth appears after like 50 seconds. Then reloading wouldn't do anything as far as I know. But yeah.
Not a damn
So
thing.
hope everyone
Guess
has
I'm
had
gonna
a
do it for you.
nice day.
Or good night.
But yeah, I'm gonna take you up on that offer.
Sure.
ESA is right now partnered with Domino's Pizza, supporting the event with pizzas for all volunteers twice a day, together with a promotional offer, which is ESA 2018. Anyone can use it at any of the Swedish restaurants for a 20% discount.
Cage. Did she say anything about this?
No.
So yeah, she finally thought she might want to appear. Glad she did. And here's gonna be another dialogue skip. My health is really low, so what we're gonna do now is, once she picks the lock, we can kill ourselves. Health is really low, as you saw
Yeah.
We're doing this.
game. But yeah, if you kill yourself here, then the door will open instantly, even before Comstock finishes his speed. If you're lucky here, you can also get some speed boosts. Some food. Here are some enemies. We're gonna set up a fire trap and use the shock jockey for the Patriot here to take him out quickly. Some firemen. You don't want to be too quick here, because if you're too quick, there's a big chance that enemies will come from the stairs there, which luckily they are not doing right now, I think. Because if they do, you will lose some time, because they should appear now here. That's good. This way a barge will spawn early, otherwise you would need to wait until the soldiers arrived at that spot to kill them, otherwise the barge would not appear for a bit. So yeah, this barge I mean. Anyway, we can loot some stuff here. Maybe fire, rocket.
Ammo, take it.
And also something cool you can do here in this part, come on, wait, did we get... Okay, sometimes it happens that there's still a corpse laying on here on the ship, then you need to shoot it off. The game just triggers the next part or allows you to pull the lever once all corpses are off the ship. It doesn't always work properly, so you have to do it manually yourself sometimes. It took a while before we actually figured that out. We always thought like it would be a soft lock.
Do you think it's possible to redeem the kind of things that we've done?
So coming up is the Hand of the Prophet fight. We're gonna have to get to the Hand of the Prophet, Comstock's Zeppelin, or Comstock's airship, and we have to fight several waves of enemies. And the rocket launcher is gonna be like our weapon of choice here, together with Bucking Bronco. Just gonna place ourselves here. The barges always arrive the same way. The enemies are consistent, so usually things should go by pretty fast. So one rocket here in the middle will take these out. We can jump down again. There's gonna be some electrical turrets or something, flying balloon turrets that we can take out with a shot.
Another gunship on the left.
Now we can just Bucking Bronco the enemies, hope that they're pretty close together, and then fire a rocket at their feet. Something that they're still alive. Okay, that this strat I only did like, I don't know, when I came back to this game. I don't know why I didn't do it before, but it's like really fast. So sometimes we just have to wait a little bit because enemies are fighting themselves. You can opt to switch your weapon for the turrets or the balloon enemies that are coming. I'm not sure if it's faster, but if you don't feel comfortable with the volley gun here, you can also do that.
Which is also risky because inconveniently you can drop your weapon off the barge. And, you know, things can happen.
Yeah, rocket launcher is just really nice here. Also, sometimes my camera locks. That's why we usually just swing our camera around to prevent that. Then the game just doesn't do it. It looks a bit weird at first. We didn't explain that before, but it's a technique that we use from the start of the run, basically. We jump onto skylines. Okay, we didn't die. That's good. And Elizabeth throws us some health. That's also nice.
Much obliged.
It's been really nice so far. That kind of makes me frightened for the final fight.
Bit suspicious.
Alright, so here's a deviation in route and in skips again. Because here's a skip that has been theorized for a very long time. Now it's finally possible, and the way we do it is actually fairly straightforward, and it's kind of weird that we didn't try or find it before. But it most likely is due to the reason that this skip requires a lot of FPS. You'll see in a bit how it's gonna look. Okay, first I'm taking out a couple of enemies. Theoretically, if you had like a really beefy PC, you wouldn't need to do this. Really beefy meaning like, I don't know how beefy it would need to be, but yeah. So we killed almost everyone. We want to keep one enemy at least. There should be at least one around. Okay, there's two. Still gonna take out that one as well, just for safety reasons. Because enemies that are still alive cost CPU performance. This is all AI calculation that is happening. And yeah, we don't want that. We want to have high FPS. So now we're gonna take this enemy, and that's why we bought actually Undertow. We're gonna get up here, then throw him up there, then target towards him. And what we can now do here is, this is actually the second level. We were able to get up here like quite a while ago, but you can actually elevator up this wall if you have enough FPS. It sometimes takes a while, so.
Yeah, for reference, we're dealing with like 340 FPS at the moment. So even if you reach like 200, 250, which is pretty good for most skips in this game, it's still by far not as consistent as you can get with over 300, 350. And it still takes some time.
Okay, we fell down. That's kind of a problem. Might need to reload here, and it's actually worth reloading because this skip saves 2 minutes. So if you don't get it, then it costs quite a lot of time.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have fallen down there, but well, whatever.
So on the second level where Henny was trying to set up the skip, there's another timed fight, and then it does take a lot of time just waiting and killing enemies again. So you definitely want to skip that.
Take out again. hiding there. Taking up here again, charge towards him. Jump here, and let's see. FPS might take a while. Or maybe not.
Oh, no.
This time it works instantly. Okay, this game is just something, I guess.
I may be the one.
Anyway, this way we can jump to the highest level here, because once you get onto the skyline, the game actually loads the interior and everything, and that's basically what this skip is based on. And we theorized probably for 3 years about this skip, and then I think it was Jarko or was it Palace, I'm not sure, but someone very creative found that, and yeah, that's really cool. Saves quite a lot of time. But if that, as if that wasn't enough, we're gonna see another skip very soon, which has been around since last time as well, or it was shown the last time. We need to set up our health again for that. But normally you're supposed to go into the airship here, but we're going around, going up to the sniper deck, which for whatever reason we can access right now. We're not supposed to, obviously. We can jump down here, then go out of bounds and land inside. It's a bit finicky. You need to pay attention to not actually kill yourself there too early. Now we're going next to the door and killing ourselves while we open the door. Normally I want to do it with a rocket, or we want to do it with a rocket, but it still works with the volley gun if you pay enough attention. But yeah, what this does is it seems slow at first, but as you can see now, we can actually now pass through Elizabeth again. Like she's not solid anymore, or we are in some kind of weird well, collision state. And this way we can later also skip some other doors and entities, and that is what causes this to actually save time. Like the setup takes probably, I don't know, a minute or something, but in the end it saves about, I don't know, 25-30 seconds or so, because we don't have to listen to like a long dialogue. Also, we want to be careful here. Sometimes it happens that, or well, it actually has happened once to me that I got soft locked here in this room. Like the door closed before I could go through. There was a time when I discovered pretty much every day a new soft lock here in BioShock Infinite. So
Oh, yeah, and in the animation, pretty good there.
oh, by the way, this is Comstock, and Comstock already is somewhat dead.
What am
That's because we jumped in here without actually going the right way.
Hey, let go of her.
Elizabeth, everything I've done to keep you safe.
And yeah, this is also not a door.
Seed of the prophet shall sit the throne and drown in flame.
We can't really progress yet, because if we try to, then the game would crash. So we're not doing that.
Beware the false shepherd, Booker DeWitt, for he shall be as a wall between her and destiny.
Why?
DeWitt, I'm a fool. I've sent mighty armies to stop you. I've rained fire on you from above. I did all of that to keep you from her, when all I needed was to tell her the truth. Ask him, child. Ask him what happened to your finger. Ask DeWitt.
She's your daughter, you son
Oh,
of a
now
bitch.
he's dying again.
You abandoned her.
Yeah.
Was it worth it? Huh? Did you get what you wanted? Tell me. Tell me.
Am I the only one understanding there? It is finished from the voice line. It's
He definitely does say that, yes.
You cut off her finger and you put it on me.
Stop it!
But yeah, now we that we are well, that this dialogue has passed, we can go through this door again and actually progress to where we need to. So the collision state was not necessary for that door, since it opens there then anyway, but for the next door. Normally we would need to trigger a lockpick dialogue here, and this way we're able to just steer the Zeppelin here immediately, and that saves like 30 seconds then in the end.
Tell us.
But yeah, we're approaching the final fight now, which is the second last part of the run or the game. After that there's still an epilogue, which is pretty long. But yeah, we're gonna see that in a bit.
Okay, we gotta get ready. I think they mean to board us.
The bird.
doing this.
Elizabeth, stop it!
It's not a word, Booker. It's a song.
This game has quite a lot of situations where if you pay close attention to your surrounding, you can see enemies spawning, weird animations and so on, even if you're not playing with low graphic settings. Oh.
It's okay.
It's strange. Anyway, yeah, Songbird, hi. Now Songbird is apparently nice.
One last thing.
And our friend. But yeah, final fight time. This fight is actually fairly well coordinated as well. It's pretty long.
Yeah, also went through different iterations, a lot of different setups by different runners, and I think it's gotten to the point where the time you need for this fight has been almost halved compared to like 3 years ago, which is, to me, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I don't have... Okay. I was about to say, okay, Liz, be nice now again. But yeah, I'm just gonna pull him down here. It's just the safer method of killing him quickly. Basically, the enemies spawn in certain waves. You can see now this thing appearing, and we can use Songbird to actually defeat some barges. We're using that in a way that we can take out the other barges in the meanwhile, while the cooldown is still active.
Yeah, you can see the cooldown in the right corner.
Thanks.
So we basically just want to like coordinate it as good as possible. Yeah. Some chips that we need to take out here like that. Well, now we don't have any ammo. Okay, Liz, can you?
Liz?
Would be really nice. There's ammo at least, but I. Okay,
Yep,
I didn't want to switch, because if you switch to a weapon too early, then she will not give you the ammo in the future anymore that you want. There's one enemy already up there. This is like not ideal, but it's gonna work out fine. Because we want to bucking bronco these rocket dudes to make them get up there. Now we have to get up the other one who's here, and there's also another one down there, I think. Like bucking broncoing is really nice in general to get rid of enemies quickly. That was that. Now, oh, this one is not there yet. You see now that the dialogue is happening right as we killed that ship. It basically shows us that we passed this part of the fight. So now we have some time to loot some enemies and some boxes. Hope for more ammo so we don't have to rely on Elizabeth. Also, Songbird is ready again, so we can put him on this Zeppelin. No. Sometimes that happens if you... Oh. Okay. Still fine. Ideally I want to place some fire traps down there before. It's still gonna be fine. Just gonna cost a little bit of time. There are some enemies who are gonna spawn. I can get rid of one of the Patriots immediately. The other one I want to wait before I kill him, because otherwise the game would just spawn another wave of enemies. You basically want to wait until the Zeppelin, or until all Zeppelins have disappeared from screen. Rockets will do, I guess. Should be still... Well, no, it's rocket ammo. That's what I meant before. But it's gonna be fine because we only need to take out this thing now. Then we get volley-gun ammo anyway. So yeah. So this triggers the next phase. So what do we do now? We just get up here. And a lot of people don't know that you actually can get onto these Zeppelins and destroy them manually. It's kind of what has blown a lot of people's mind when they saw the speedrun for the first time. Sometimes one of the enemies here is in the ground, so you need to pay a bit attention to not actually charge towards him, because then you can actually get out of bounds here. That's not what you want. Yeah, here's some ammo. And Songbird is almost ready again. We don't need to care about these enemies, but we're gonna use Songbird on the other Zeppelin. And this is the last wave of enemies if nothing goes wrong, because sometimes the game just still doesn't like to do what you want it to do here. Even though this looks good, because sometimes Patriots don't spawn. If they spawn, usually everything is fine. Okay, we killed that one. Have one soldier or gone? Almost gone. But we still need to wait anyway before the Zeppelins disappear, as I said before. Okay, there's still one. I was thinking like there's gotta be one. That's fine. Now we can get rid of this one. And that should finish the fight. It sometimes takes a little while. Unless there are some rocket dudes who jump down here, but that usually doesn't happen. So this should be the final fight done in a second. Yes. Now, Elizabeth sometimes takes a while to actually approach the bow here. She also, even if the fight has finished, sometimes likes to just hide here in a corner for 10 seconds for whatever reason. It kind of, you have to wait until the statue has fully gone up here. We don't really fully know what causes it to sometimes be quick and sometimes not.
Bring the whole damn thing down. Destroy the siphon.
And that's what you want.
It's the only way we'll find the truth. About my finger.
So yeah, now we're approaching the epilogue, which used to be like a really boring and well, the part where we didn't have to do much gameplay stuff, just walking from door to door, triggering dialogue and so on. But recently there have been 2 new skips that were found. One was, I'm actually not sure, I think one was found by Distortion 2, and the other skip was found by, who was it? Was it Jarko again? It was one.
It probably was Jarko, Stoic. We have so many routers and runners that have contributed so much. We've pretty much name dropped everybody, but there's still a lot more people that, even while not finding anything named, they've contributed with opinions and in the discussion gave us ideas and yeah,
So
a little bit of
This speedrun has gone through quite some history now. Anyway, we are Rapture.
I'm here.
If you have played the DLCs, you'll know a bit more about this.
Yeah, this is setting up for the DLCs, Burial at Sea, part 1 and part 2. So yeah, spoilers. We're going back to Rapture in those, which people should know from the first and second BioShock parts. Yep.
Apparently, Liz just changed her hair color again. I've never seen that before, or not the color, but it's just the lighting.
One of many. This way.
All right.
What do you mean it's a door?
So here, crouching actually saves a little bit of time.
Oh, come on. Yes, it's this way.
What Comstock said about your finger. Is there an answer here?
And the first part is just trying to optimize the movement.
This is where we have to
It's like nothing you can really do. It's
What
still,
is going on? Elizabeth,
or
what do you
again, a
mean
lot
if
of
this is a
cutscenes.
doorway? Probably gonna regret this.
But after this bathysphere part, there's gonna be the first skip, and in my opinion, it's a really cool skip because it utilizes the technique that we saw earlier, or that I actually showed, like the different way of bypassing Comstock Gate. It utilizes this clipping into walls to also here skip like another waiting sequence. I don't know, have you seen that before?
I've seen the clip of it. It was shown on the Discord, but it's you have to imagine that from this point on, the game actually forces you just down a path, and just breaking free from that is just really nice to see. Like, you don't have to follow these animations now. You actually can just go.
Thousands of doors.
It's not really out of bounds. It's like
Opening all at once.
Yeah.
I mean, out of what the game wants you to be in.
Not intended. And while these skips might not save like huge amounts of time, it's just for us who have looked for skips here forever. It's just really
Come on,
nice
this
and
way.
refreshing to finally
Come on.
have broken this part of the game as well. Anyway, here is the first lighthouse door. Gotta wait for Liz to just do some talking.
Are you going to open it?
It's no good. Damn it.
But yeah, normally
Once
here
we were
after we
here, I could fully
like
control it.
after
I
we
thought-
open this door, we come out here again, or on in another lighthouse, at another lighthouse, and we have to actually wait for her dialogue to finish. But that's obviously slow. We're not gonna do that. Instead, we're just
See?
going to the wall
That's
like this. This can take a while. It still saves time, quite a bit actually,
everywhere.
because she has quite a lengthy dialogue, and also there's an invisible wall in our way. just takes
And
extra long this time.
yeah, again, and it is. It seems to be FPS dependent, but oh yeah.
Yeah. So this way, if we jump with the right timing, we can get on top of this wall here, and then fall back behind the invisible wall, and yeah, actually go here before the pathway has actually loaded. What you also see me doing here is walking backwards, because here we cannot run in this part, but walking backwards is slightly faster than walking forward. Here, pay close attention to the background.
Not exactly.
Very good
They swim in different
animation
oceans,
work
but land on
again.
the same shore.
This actually happens casually as well, like if you play through the game casually.
Elizabeth knows Trick or Two as well.
All the same.
Why?
She has known all the time about this.
Yes, it has.
So here's something else that Jaco found. I'm not gonna do that because it's like still inconsistent and risky. You can get on top of well, invisible walls here as well. It would save time, but it's like moving over like, I don't know, 5-6 different invisible walls, I think, and if you fall down, the run is basically dead, so I'm not going to do that. But yeah, walking backwards here again, saving a little bit of time. And coming up is the second skip that I mentioned. I'm going to jump towards this lighthouse door, then jump back out of it again, which works only if you spam jump here. We still hear the dialogue from the next cutscene. Normally there's a preacher who you cannot like trigger immediately, but if you just go out here again, music still playing in the background, and go back into the other door here, you can activate the preacher or trigger him immediately and accept the baptism. The dialogues will kind of overlap. It's pretty interesting. Normally you need to wait here before you can actually do this, and this, despite having to go out of the one lighthouse to the other one, saves I think like 5 seconds or something. Also fairly new. I think this was found by Distortion too. Yeah. So now we're supposed to get drowned, baptized for the 5th time or something. I don't know.
Stop it! Stop it! What are you doing? Get off me! Get off!
You didn't go through with
You
it.
think a dunk in the river's gonna change the things I've done? Let's get out of here. Hey, these doors of yours, they're all tears, right? Well, open one up. Open one up to Paris. I want to be shut of all this.
Not until we find Comstock.
Comstock's dead!
No. He was here. This way.
So yeah, some more opening of doors. Part is really obnoxious with that.
Bring us the girl and wipe away the debt.
This is
But if you've played BioShock Infinite before, this is like one of the most memorable parts of the game, obviously, for story reasons.
The big reveal.
Wait, no, this is wrong. What is this? There's no baby. I remember. No, there was no baby, and if there was, I sure as hell wouldn't give it over to this guy.
Booker, you don't leave this room until you do.
Do it. Time is running short. Bring us the girl and wipe away the debt.
So here, if we were insanely lucky, there could also be a dialogue skip happening, but yeah, as I already said, we don't know what causes them.
The only thing we do know is the dialogues that are triggered after you perform an action, so calling the elevator before Emporia, or here picking up the baby.
My personal theory is that the game might have, like, in these cutscenes, certain animation key points where it might skip towards to, for whatever reason, in some situations.
There was no baby.
We don't know.
The deal was, I go to Columbia to get you.
Booker, you're bleeding.
Oh. Remember what I remember.
Now we've upset him.
I don't expect this next bit will do much for his mood.
Come on.
What are we doing?
Thanks to
Comstock's dead.
having done the Prophet's Cabin skip earlier, we're also able to walk through Elizabeth here. Still, it does not save much time, but it's still pretty nice. Well, if you did it right, if we did it right, we could also save some time here by going backwards. But yeah.
When he never never even lived in the first place.
Hey. Hey, the deal's off, you hear me?
Unstable.
The deal is off! Give her back! Give her back!
Fine, are you mad?
Give her back, you son of a bitch!
It's ready! Go!
No! No, no,
Shut
no!
down the machine!
No!
Shut it
Anna!
down! Shut down the machine now! Do it!
Give me back my daughter! No! Anna. Anna. No. No. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Anna, I'm sorry.
He's gone. You shared this room with your regret for almost 20 years. Until one day, a man came to you.
It's gonna be somewhat close with the estimate.
Nah, we'll be fine.
Chance for us to be
The stair here you need to pay a little bit attention to, not go in there too early, because then you could get stuck and soft lock as well. It has happened like in the early days when people were racing this game, so you kinda wanna be careful with that. But yeah, there's not really much to do anymore.
Don't see the point. What's done is done. What's done will be done. I suppose the brand is his hair shirt, as he is ours.
And this is gonna be the last boat ride of this game.
Away the debt. Bring us the girls. Wipe away the debt.
See? He's starting to put his story together.
Wipe away
You're quite fond of this theory of yours.
He's manufacturing new memories from his old ones.
Well, the brain adapts.
I should know. I lived it.
Booker, wake up. Booker, wake up. This is where it started.
I sold you. I sold you.
To your credit, you did try to weasel out of the deal.
This is all Comstock's fault. What if I went back? Killed him before he did any of this?
Things get set in motion.
How would
So one thing to pay attention to after we
That's the only
open,
way to do
well,
it.
the
Go back to
final
when he was born.
door, the final lighthouse door,
Smother this son of a bitch in his crib.
we're gonna see someone familiar, thanks to glitching around here in the epilogue a little bit. And yeah, we might go like a couple of seconds over the estimate. And that's time.
Ah, 4 seconds.
Sure. This is what you want.
Yeah. I guess we can still quickly watch the end part here. As I said, pay close attention now. Oh, I would have been able to actually trigger him here. The game is again like we skipped some of the dialogue and everything, so Preacher was there, and yeah.
Yeah, he's not supposed to.
You chose to walk away, but in other oceans, you didn't. You took the baptism.
Pretty funny how he's still talking in the background.
It all has to end.
So yeah, that's BioShock Infinite.
BioShock Infinite. So
We've
yeah,
pretty much mentioned everybody that has contributed a lot, but there's, as I said, more people on the BioShock Infinite Discord.
especially new runners, Palace, Palace Osu. Well, there are more people, so shoutouts to the big shoutouts to the whole community. And yeah, thanks for letting us show off this run again, like for letting us show off the changes that have been done. And yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll find some new things. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see what the future holds for BioShock Infinite.
Yeah, a lot of potential. So if you're interested in routing, just join us.
See ya. Enjoy the rest of the marathon.